Hello, everyone. You're watching me live on NDTV YouTube. I'm Rishika Barua. I host a weekly show called We the People, where we focus on the issues that matter to the people. We put your stories and your issues front and center. If you're living in Delhi NCR, or for that matter, anywhere in North India right now, pollution, the air pollution is top of mind. What we are seeing is a thick grey blanket of smog that has engulfed Delhi NCR and other parts of North India, and it is visibly uh, for us to see how bad the pollution is. If you further go on to one of the apps and check the AQI, you'll see that it's crossed the severe category, which means that the air quality index in Delhi NCR and other parts of North India right now is almost at 500 in certain parts, which is the severe category. Now, this, of course, means that it's hard for people to breathe. It is very harmful for young children. It's very harmful for people with comorbidities, with people who have underlying lung conditions. It's very harmful for the population in general. So even if it means that you have a scratchy throat and itchy eyes, you are directly being impacted by air pollution. Well, we've been speaking with experts, with doctors, with people who understand AQI measurement. We've been speaking with experts to try and decipher and help you better cope with the problem. Now, the reason why we're talking about solutions, the reason why we're talking about coping mechanisms, the reason why we're talking about a survival kit today is because we all understand the problem. The problem is compounded by a dip in temperature. There's stubble burning in Punjab and Haryana that continues. The air brings with it the pollutants. They get trapped at this time because the temperatures have dipped, the wind speeds are lower. Further, there is waste burning, there is construction, there is car emissions. So, all of these are factors that contribute to the dirty air that we're breathing, especially in Delhi NCR and other parts of North India right now. It's almost like we're living in a gas chamber, gasping for breath. A lot of us actually understand what happens. We know, we have a fair bit of idea on why the pollution is so bad. There is a government, an Aam Aadmi Party government in both Delhi and Punjab right now. There's a pollution action plan in place, but several questions need to be asked of the political establishment, of the state and the central governments on what really has happened on the ground. Now, these are questions that we continue to ask. These are stories we continue to report on NDTV. You can go onto our website. You can continue to track these stories on the channel. Today, on this YouTube interaction with you, I want to focus very specifically on solutions. What can you and I do at home in order to be able to prevent ourselves from this air pollution, save our children, help the elderly in our family? And like I said, we spoke to doctors, we spoke to experts who understand this issue. I want to begin, by addressing the issue as far as children are concerned. So, what the doctors recommend is that if the AQI is above 200, ideally, small children, young children, infants and toddlers need to be kept indoors as far as is possible. If you have the luxury of an air purifier with a HEPA filter, please use an air purifier with a HEPA filter. Children above the age of 2 need to wear a mask if they step out, an N95 or an N99 mask if they step out. But ideally, it is harmful. Experts say it is harmful for children to go downstairs and play, to go outside to parks, or step out of the house when the AQI is at 400, 500. Because what child specialist doctors have actually explained is that children breathe um, almost double as fast as compared to adults, which means that they're taking in twice the amount of bad air that you and I are taking in. So it is very harmful for children. There's a reason why primary schools have been shut. There is a reason why classes have shifted online. It's not ideal. It shouldn't happen. But these are, like I said, survival mechanisms at this time of the year. So, as far as children are concerned, I'll just break it down for you. Keep the kids indoors as far as is possible. Once the AQI improves or dips below 200, you can send the children out. If you have a kid who's above 2 years of age, make sure they wear a mask. If schools are shifting to online model, access online classes, and at least reduce the damage as far as you can. As far as elderly people are concerned, again, if you have somebody who has comorbidities, an underlying lung condition, heart condition, it tends to get worse with this air pollution. So you have to try and keep vulnerable people indoors as far as is possible. Again, if you have the luxury of affording air purifiers with HEPA filters, then you need to be able to access those and use those. As far as masks are concerned, well, it's not ideal, but what doctors have explained to us is that particulate matter, which is less than PM 2.5, so it can't save you from the PM 2.5, it can't save you from this AQI index that you're seeing, but if particulate matter is less than 2.5, it does get contained to some extent in an N95 or an N99 mask. So mask up if you are in fact stepping out, if you have to step out. Like I said, there are a lot of us who don't have the luxury to sit at home. A lot of us don't have the luxury to leave Delhi, but that is in fact ideal. So if you have the option of working from home, if you have the option of leaving Delhi, then at least try and take the children and the vulnerable people out. This is what doctors are saying. Also, it's very important to understand the effect of air pollution on public health in general. We're seeing a large number of cases, increased number of cases of the flu, colds, coughs, wheezing, fever. All of this, also, what experts have explained is that it is linked to the poor air quality. So don't self-medicate, don't over-medicate, don't take steroid inhalers. Um, just buy them off the shelf. Budocort is such a popular steroid inhaler. It's a steroid. All of these inhalers or techniques, medical techniques that you need to use to cope with the air pollution need to be prescribed by a doctor. It has to be age appropriate. It has to be appropriate to your condition. Other survival techniques, and like I said, this YouTube live, this interaction is about a survival kit, and I'm just sort of trying to summarize for the benefit of you, the viewer, what several experts have said. Avoid doing dry cleaning at home. So the jhadu that we do in the house, again, it catches a lot of dust. It further leads to pollutants in the air. So try and do wet mops instead. The other thing that is helpful is to remove all heavy curtains, or to remove heavy carpets, because all of these really contain a lot of dust. So these are just few things that you can do at home. It's festival season. Firecrackers, of course, is a huge no. It's also been banned. Green crackers is a myth, so don't fall for that. Refrain as far as possible from lighting diyas and candles inside the house. Remember, experts explain that when the air pollution is so bad outside, you have to try and save yourself from indoor pollution as far as is possible. So try and fix chimneys in the kitchen, reduce the amount of smoke and smog that is being created as a result of indoor pollution. Avoid lighting diyas, dhoops, agarbattis, even though this is festive season and we all do it. But all of these are essentially some survival mechanisms, some coping mechanisms that can perhaps help you at least keep the air cleaner. It's important, to run air purifiers if you can. They help, again, to only an extent. You need good quality HEPA filters. You need to change your HEPA filters often. So air purifiers is not a sustainable solution, but it's a survival mechanism, if I can put it that way. So if you can afford one, there is no harm in putting one. But what most individuals can afford and have access to is masks. So if you're working outdoors, if your job entails you to go outdoors or be outdoors, where you're not even confined to an office space, but you're outdoors, please use that N95 or the N99 mask, like I said. In terms of like I said, other coping mechanisms, other survival techniques, I've tried to put together some of the survival kit techniques that work. Steam inhalation is one of them. All of these are again tried and tested things that doctors recommend, which may help you to deal with some symptoms of the air pollution. There is no quick fix. There are no fast solutions. We need larger policy changes. We need a concerted effort. We need to deal with air pollution as a problem, not just in pollution season, but it needs to be something that we focus on through the course of the year. Hold power to account, demand answers, make sure action plans are in place, not just when things get bad, but action plans are in place. So, like I said, each of us needs to do our bit. Don't burn waste. Don't unnecessarily pollute. Try and switch to solar if you can. Carpool, reduce car emissions, plant trees, save trees. These are all things, one step at a time. It's a drop in the ocean, but it does go a long way. If every individual thought that they can just do their bit, to clean the air, or to help this air pollution problem, I think it'll help us also. While we continue to question the establishment, it's important to try and do whatever we can in our power. And like I said, I've hoped that some of the survival techniques that experts have shared with us on NDTV, I have further shared with you through this YouTube live. So I sincerely hope that it has been helpful. We'll continue to talk about these burning issues with you on NDTV. Do stay tuned for more such discussions. Thank you for tuning in.